Hi, and welcome to A Drummer's Guide to, the podcast all about the things that it takes to be a professional musician aside from actually playing your instrument. My name is Emily Dolan Davis, and every time I say my name, I say it slightly differently. So today is Dolan Davis, not Dolan Davies, and I am here just to make you feel a little less alone, if anything, because this music industry is hard. Being a professional is difficult. So I like us all to feel a little more connected, and I include myself in that because there's nothing nicer than sort of talking on a subject and maybe feeling quite vulnerable about putting it out there, and then people coming back and going either thank you so much, that's really helped, or I thought I was the only one. That's like the best thing ever. Like, I felt that too, all that sort of stuff. I'm like, yeah, cool, okay, amazing. That sounds like it doesn't even need to be solving anything necessarily, but just to feel connected, I think, is so important. So anyway, today I want to talk about something that is a bit meta, and I hate the fact that I can't really use the word meta anymore. It's like what's another word that, anyway, do you know what, I'm not going to go down this. Why am I going down this route? This is the beginning of the episode. The rambling's meant to happen later. I want to talk about burnout. So the reason that this is meta is because currently I am definitely suffering with a bout of burnout. I think it's been, do you know what, I don't even know how long it's been. It's been a few weeks, which is such a shame really, because I feel like I'd been doing so well at not being burnt out, like so well, probably the best I've ever done in my life for the last maybe 2 years. I was, sleeping really well, eating really well, which obviously that I love to eat really well anyway. But like I wasn't taking on too much stuff. I was saying no to things, which is like the hardest thing ever. And yet, I'm doing therapy. It felt like I really was not overdoing it. And look, don't get me wrong, day to day, there would be moments where I'd be like, you know what, you've done too much today, you need to chill. But I would, and then I would just relax the next day or relax that evening or whatever it needed to be. But alas, here I am right now. And I just wanted to talk about essentially what I do / what I'm doing to combat this, because the reality is, yes, I'm burnt out right now, but I still have stuff that needs to get done. Like it's so rough. So I'm filming this, and it's the 11th of September right now, and I basically, the whole of August was pretty much a write-off for me. It was a nightmare. I did my back in from getting up from the laptop. Very, very, very embarrassing. Not very rock and roll, but yeah, it threw up my back, and I could not function properly for a couple of weeks. Nightmare. Then I went to Spain to go and hang out with my fam and also my cousin and his wife. Hey, Brad and Jenny. That was awesome. We had the best time. We were out there for maybe 5 days. And then on the way home on the plane, I was like, I don't feel okay. I don't feel good. There's something wrong. And I couldn't put my finger on it. I was like, I feel very strange. By the time I got home, I was like, I do not feel okay. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, that night I had hot and cold sweats. My skin felt like there were a million needles being prickled into me. And basically I was like, and my head felt like it was just compressing, and I was like, oh no, I think I know what this is. And lo and behold, it was COVID. So that was fun. And that again took me out for a good couple of weeks where I just didn't feel. Well, the first week I couldn't physically do anything. I had to cancel stuff. I hate cancelling stuff. It's my least favourite, one of my least favourite things. But anyway, by the second week I kind of felt vaguely capable, and then by the third week I started feeling human again. But I'm still suffering. My energy levels are shot. I'm actually quite not worried. I don't think I am worried because it feels different. But when I first got COVID, it was kind of, when would that have been? It was like it was when we first were allowed to go back out again and see people. I can't remember when that would have been. I want to say November 2020. maybe. But anyway, I caught COVID then, and the after effects, the lethargy, basically I caught long COVID essentially. So for a year and a half, I just had no energy, like zero. It was, I mean, my energy levels are a nightmare as it is trying to navigate them, but with that on top, it was impossible. So I'm low-key worried that it's that, but it doesn't feel the same. It's not as intense, but it's definitely, there's an element of that. But you know, like I say, I've still got stuff that I need to do. I need to, for instance, record episodes for you lot, because I do enjoy it, I will say. But you know, there's an element of responsibility that I feel that I have in terms of like showing up for you guys. Also, obviously, coaching my clients, like my students, my poor students. I need to make sure that I'm showing up for them, replying to messages, the bane of my life. I'm not very good at that at the best of times. And if you're waiting for a message from me, by the way, at Hey Emily Drums, it's much better. Sorry, the username, the handle, it's been a point of contention recently if you're new here. But anyway, yeah, replying to messages, which if you are waiting for a reply from me, I'm sorry, I'm trying. Please bear with me, continue to bear with me. And then that alone is just like the work stuff. Then you've got like life stuff, actually, you know, seeing friends and family. I'm currently selling my house, so that's a thing, so therefore selling all the stuff in it as well, because I'm downsizing quite dramatically. I mean, I'll be honest, as I say this, the burnout thing kind of seems quite logical, but anyway, I just thought that it would be good to share, because I think we all go through periods of burnout, and you know, it's like buses in it with work. They all come at once. There's nothing, then it's all the things, and it's just trying to balance it all, get it all done, say yes to as much as you can, but at the same time without killing yourself, which historically I've not been great at, and I do crash. I've crashed before, and I'm sure I will again, and admittedly maybe right now that's what's happening, but I need to try and relax a little bit. So let's talk about a recovery plan, because with great burnout comes great experience, not responsibility, experience. So I'm going to talk you through a few of the things that I do basically, and that I am currently doing, because I'm still learning how to deal with this. I've got to be honest. There are things about me that I have big blind spots with and big flaws with, and managing energy levels is one of them for sure, and managing my own like health in that way. I'm not great at it. I'm getting better, but I don't know. It's just, you know, life, things to do in life can be so compelling that it's like, oh, I'll just say yes to that. I'll just say yes to that. And then you find yourself juggling all these things, becoming overwhelmed until your body just goes, nah, you're not doing that anymore. And then it just crashes. And I think that's what happened with my back. I think just one too many things was on my plate, as it were. One too many plates were spinning, if you like, and my back going was my body just going, nah, you're stopping now. Nah, I'm sorry, you need to relax, you need to actually take a break. Because honestly, so how do I go into this? I'm just thinking, how much do I want to go into this? Basically, there was a big shift that happened for me back in 2023, around April. And I think I've been, and in fact probably before then, because I'd just come off the back of doing another season of The Voice, which is always a stressful situation. So good stress, but stressful, you know, it's a lot. So let's say the end of 2022, I think I've just been gunning it since then, and I'm almost certain I haven't stopped. I did take 5 days off to go to Spain, as I mentioned, as a little holiday, but aside from that, I haven't stopped, and not physically, not mentally, and yeah, I think it all just came to a head. And to be fair, I must thank my body for actually letting me go for that long, because it's been essential to my mental health, I think, in terms of just surviving, if I'm honest. So anyway, forget about my situation. Let's talk about burnout and recovering from it. So the first thing that I will do is, am doing. So currently I am setting myself limits of what I do. So my rule is, at the moment, I'm only allowed to do one thing every day. And caveat, that one thing is only allowed to last for 3 hours maximum. Now that's just my personal thing, because I know what I'm like, and you know, those 3 hours, to say that they are intense is probably a bit of an understatement. I just give everything. I give all of my energy to those 3 hours, but I'm not allowed to do anything more than that, because even if I'm feeling a little bit more energetic, I'm saying this and I've just realized I completely broke my rule yesterday. 100%. I planned 9 episodes, right? So that's, which I was well proud of, like, yeah, properly proud. And then I guess I got inspired. I guess I got some energy, and then I ended up putting stuff up on eBay, and then like, I broke my rule. Okay, well, today, 3 hours. And for me today, my 3 hours, my one thing is recording these episodes. My one thing is recording these episodes, because I'm batching. This is my second of hopefully 4, but even if I just end this episode today and go, right, that's done, I count that as a win. Because that's the other thing. As long as I only do one thing, I just count it as a win, and it's totally fine. So yeah, one thing. So whether that is recording these episodes, or planning out episodes, or doing coaching sessions, yeah, they're not always just one coaching session. Sometimes they're 2. I love that I'm saying this like I'm feeling so guilty right now, and I don't know whether it's because of you or because of me. Like, if I'm being guilty, I'm just going to take a sip of coffee because I feel awkward. So anyway, that's what I try and do. I try and limit myself to just the bare minimum, one thing, 3 hours. I can plan that so that I can get what I need to get done without killing myself. And then the rest of the day, I just rest. Like, I just chill. At the moment, I'm watching, what am I watching? Well, I've just, I just finished the 4th season of Unforgotten, which is a UK crime drama series with, what's that lady's name? Nicola someone. Anyway, very good, would highly recommend it. And yeah, so I'm doing that, and then I'm also playing my game. So check this out. For those that know, or that are interested, or are part of this club, I finished Final Fantasy VIII for the first time, literally, 2 weeks ago? And it's only taken me 25 years. Woo! But I'm done. I did it. I was very happy. I beat, Ultimisia? Yeah. I beat them, and now I'm playing Final Fantasy VII. I'm just about to go into the final battle, and my stats are nowhere near where they want to be, so I am grinding to get that HP, that MP, to get the materia up, all the things. So anyway, for all the non-geeks right now, I'm back to normal, but basically I do try and just take the rest of that time to rest and allow myself to, which I find really hard. It's so difficult, I'm not gonna lie. So that's the first thing that I do, just bare minimum one thing. And then the second thing that I'm doing is exercising, and I'm currently doing twice a week boxing. Obviously when I had COVID, when my back went, I didn't go. Obviously I wasn't physically able to, and it definitely affected my mental health. It affected my energy levels, I'm sure, although difficult to tell. But as a form of not just letting out the stress of life generally, it also, I don't know, it feels very fulfilling in a different way, because not only is the boxing itself very, I don't know, I love it, I just love it, the boxing in itself, but the hanging out with the people that are there, like the guys and girls that are at that gym, are so lovely, interesting, kind, caring. It's a wonderful community. It's so nice, and it's something that I look forward to. Every time I go, I'll always have a really nice conversation with someone, and I get to catch up with people that I haven't seen for a while, you know. And sometimes you get brand new people, like there's a turnaround because there's always new beginners classes starting every 8 weeks, and what that means is you've always got new people kicking about, and it's so interesting. I love it so much. So for me, yeah, anyway, sorry, just finding a fitness thing that has peripheral benefits, as you know, I really like that. So yeah, that is part of my recovery. And I think also just chatting to people, there's something about that kind of takes you out of your own head, that kind of takes you outside yourself, because I spend a lot of time by myself. A lot. I love it. Can I just say, I love spending time by myself. I'm a very I can be a very isolated, insular person. I do enjoy seeing people. I'm not a complete hermit, but there's nothing nicer to me than just pottering about doing my thing, which is very useful because it is, yeah, playing an instrument. It can be very sociable, but it also can be very isolating. But anyway, so yeah, that is the second thing that I do, is kind of exercising, and not overdoing it, trying to not overdo it. I also do stretching as well. That's partly to do with my back, actually, but that kind of helps, just kind of looking after my body so that it can recover. Don't overdo it. Like, ideally, do you know what, ideally, you know, the boxing thing is so addictive. I'd love to be able to do it 5 days a week, but I think for a while I was doing it 3 or 4 times a week, and honestly, like, with that and the traveling to get there, because it takes me a good hour to get there each way, if not a bit more, I ended up injuring myself, obviously, of course I did, because I'm extreme. So I know what my balance is. I think twice a week is good. It gives me enough fitness that I'm happy. It gives me enough that I can eat what I want, which is very important to me, and I still feel, you know, good about my body most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. There's plenty about my body I don't like, but yeah, it's fine. I'm the happiest I've ever been with it, I will say that. So that's good. That's a nice benefit. It's not the reason, but it's a nice benefit. But the fitness levels and the energy levels, it definitely translates for me. So therefore it makes sense to kind of make sure that I uphold that in a way that is not detrimental. The way that, so my sister says it like this, like, in fact, I'm going to try and say this, but I don't think I'm going to do a very good job. So apologies, Han, if you're watching or listening. But what she says is that every time you do an action, it kind of either gives you energy or depletes it. And with training, it depletes it, so you have to recover. But if you don't recover back to the baseline, then you're always going to be going in a down trajectory. But even though the baseline is raising every time you do it, I think that's what she says. So for me, twice a week is kind of that thing currently where I'm able to stretch my fitness to raise that baseline, but I'm have enough time to recover in between to get back to that baseline. If that makes any sense to you, congratulations, you are the same as me. If it doesn't, don't worry, that doesn't surprise me. But anyway, the third thing that I'll do is make sure that I'm eating well. Obviously, it's always something that I will come back to, and I do that by meal prepping, so that when I don't have any energy to cook, there's stuff on hand that is vaguely healthy. It's quicker to heat it up in the microwave than it is to order in, and cheaper, obviously, and healthier. There's that too, the healthy factor. Plus, I like my cooking. I love food. I know how to cook because, you know, who can afford to eat out all the time? Not me, not this girl. So yeah, I think eating well. Also, I will say not just eating for health, but eating for morale, very important too. Look, don't think that I'm sitting over here just eating kale and, I don't know, broccoli all the time. I'm not. I'll have cookies, I'll have, there's a massive bee outside. Yeah, like cookies, I'll have, like, I don't know, just chocolate or crisps or popcorn or, I don't know, whatever. Or like, what did I have last night? I had a, you know those Chicago town pizzas, the ones that you put in the microwave for 3 minutes? I had one of those. It wasn't great, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, I'll have a Rustler's burger. Why not? Like, you know, so, but there's balance, obviously. I'm not just eating that stuff. I'm eating good stuff as well, you know, fermented stuff, for instance. Obsessed with fermented stuff. I love it. Lemon koji, for those that know, it is the best. But anyway, so yeah, eating well, not just for health, but for morale. Very important as well. And then Another thing that I do, the fourth thing, is I will try to listen to my body and just stop and sit still. So when I'm feeling exhausted, which admittedly right now I can feel it here. This is where I feel my exhaustion right now. It's in my forehead and in my chest a little bit. But I try to listen to my body, which I'm not doing now because, well, I listen to it and I act upon it. So I will, if I am exhausted, I will just stop. Obviously, if there's things that I need to do, what I will do is I will stop for like a period of time and just see if I can't recover enough to go get the thing done as quickly and effectively as possible, and then go back to the resting state, as it were. The other thing that I try to do in that vein, and I'm already feeling uncomfortable even mentioning it, is I try to just sit still in silence, and this is the most difficult thing for me. I hate it so much. I hate it. I find it really hard. I'm trying because I don't know, I don't know why I find it incredibly uncomfortable just to sit and exist and be, and it's something that me and my therapist are talking about a lot, and I'm trying to do, but I think it's actually really essential, because usually what I'll do is, whatever I'm doing, I'll put on a podcast, I'll watch something, I'll play my game, like whatever. I like having input into my ears. I think it's because my brain is so chattery that I need it to have something to focus on so that it doesn't chatter away. But actually, I think I need to sit still more and be in silence more. So there's that. In fact, I should just go for more drives, because that is when I do really good thinking time and I kind of let things out like that. So maybe I should do that, so at least my body is kind of in motion, as it were, so it's being preoccupied, and then I can just, I find it so hard. I don't know about you, I find, like, of all the things in life, sitting still in silence is just so difficult for me. It's so difficult. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So yeah, there's something that I'm working on. And then the fifth and final thing that I do, or try to do, is just try and be kind to myself and try to offer up some self-care things. I'm doing this thing at the moment where I'm trying to do one thing every day, just for, like, in the vein of self-care, just to kind of look after myself, because historically I haven't been good at that. I'm getting better, but for me it's things like self-care. To me looks like cooking food, because I really love cooking. What did I do yesterday? I put toner on my hair yesterday, so I don't know if you can see, but it's looking a little more grey today. So doing that, or like having a bath, or in fairness playing my video games, like just self-care, going for a walk in the forest. That's nice. Forest, that is woods. They're woods. I don't know what the difference between forest and woods are. I'd imagine a forest is just bigger. Maybe it's an area thing, or maybe it's the type of trees. I don't know. Someone will know. It's definitely woods that I walk in, though, not a forest. But yeah, I try and do things like that and just be kind to myself, and, you know, even just lighting a candle and just creating a nice environment, you know. And again, it's something historically I've not been good at. I've been incredibly good at punishing myself, berating myself, bullying myself into taking action when I'm exhausted, and that's why in the past I have been burnt out more often, definitely. And that is part of the reason I'm really annoyed that I'm in this position right now. But again, I'm literally doing it now. I'm not being kind to myself, you know, being annoyed that I'm burnt out. That's not okay. You know, it is what it is, and I need to lean into it. And realistically, I should, and I'm going to use the word should, end my recording day now, really. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to record at least one more episode today, but we'll see. But anyway, I hope that this has helped in some way, this kind of vaguely rambling situation. So yeah, I hope that that kind of helps you, I'd say, in terms of, like, you know, I've outlined the recovering from burnout, but I think if you can do those things outside of being burnt out, that's even better, because you can kind of, like, mitigate it in the first place, which I think is always good. Prevention is always better than treatment. So anyway, I hope this has helped. I hope it's not too rambly. I hope I feel better. I hope you feel better if you're burnt out too. You're not alone. It's a nightmare. If you have enjoyed this episode or found it useful, please do feel free to like, share and subscribe. You can also support this podcast over on Patreon if you go to patreon.com/EmilyDrums. And if you'd like to see any other little mini content that I do on various subjects, then come find me on Instagram at HeyEmilyDrums. Come find me over there. And you can also suggest any topics that you'd like me to talk on over there. So anyway, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, whatever you're up to. The sun is out here, a few clouds as well, but it's all good. I will speak to you next week on another subject. All right, see you later. Bye.